Heroin makes you, you become a totally different person. It changes your whole mind, your whole body, your whole DNA, the way you think, the way you care about things.
But you can't take it out. So that's the rule I play by.
I couldn't deal with it, and I got hooked, so.
I don't want to be hooked on nothing that controls me, but I've tried many times, and I go right back.
In 2025, over 8,323 souls in San Francisco, California, slept without shelter each night, a 7% rise from the year before. But these aren't statistics. They are human stories of courage, loss, and the will to survive. This is not just homelessness. This is the heartbeat of San Francisco, crying out for compassion before it fades into the dark. What if the innovation capital masks an addiction epidemic dwarfing its homelessness woes? Eye-opening reveal. Drug addiction traps 37,500 San Franciscans, over 4 times the unhoused count, per recent studies. Can you picture a fog-shrouded paradise where 65% of homeless regularly battle illicit substances, their struggles woven into the city's fabric? The gap is staggering. What's the real price of this golden illusion? The scope and visibility of the crisis. Deep in San Francisco's glittering heart, where towering tech empires promise endless possibilities, a stark reality hits hard. Tents crowding the sidewalks, worn-out families huddling in the shadows, their quiet desperation cutting through the shine like an unspoken truth. Unbelievable how this powerhouse city conceals such deep struggles, right? Step into Tenderloin and Soma, where the intensity grips you. Tenderloin's 50 bustling square blocks cut tents to 165 by July 2025 from 220 in March, but it remains the core for crucial support. Soma's 1.5 square miles south of Market lifted sheltered rates to nearly 40% this year, unsheltered dropping 23% since 2019, yet those avenues echo hidden pains. Tents scattered as tireless organizations push forward. The twist that stings? This heavy focus overwhelms some spots while bypassing others, carving invisible rifts across the urban landscape. The 2025 Homelessness Needs Assessment lays it bare. 2024's point-in-time count clocked 8,323 in turmoil, up 7% from 2022, 3,969 indoors, 4,354 out in the elements. Dig deeper. 2024 impacted over 20,000 households, 26,634 fates in limbo, 85% solo adults, 14% clinging families, 21% youth 18 to 29 grasping for footing amid tempests and patchy aid. How does the sheltered rise, 18% since 2022, square with unsheltered stuck at 4,300? Merely relocating the strain and sparking divides among residents and stores? The split is palpable. What's the untold story? If this grabs you, chime in below. How do we close these city gaps? And if these raw revelations pull you in, tap subscribe on Homeless US News. Let's expose more together. Have you ever wondered why certain neighborhoods become hubs for these challenges? As we move forward, let's consider how this uneven spread affects everyone in the city. From my perspective, seeing these disparities reminds us that true community strength comes from sharing the load. It's a call to recognize that helping one neighborhood lifts the whole city. Streets of addiction, streets without escape. Beneath San Francisco's lively glow, Tenderloin's dim alleys pulse with fading hope, where addiction ensnares lives in a poignant hold, transforming known streets into unyielding mazes. Heart-wrenching that by late 2025, over 65% facing homelessness share histories haunted by substance use, a veil over paths that ache with lost promise. These truths from public health aren't distant. They're soul-deep storms, new substances stirring silent chaos. In Soma's 1.5 square miles, weekly Narcan saves echo the ceaseless whirl, 34% battling layered mental weights, shunning shelters mismatched to their raw pain. Post-2024 shifts spill this agony into view, scattered on sidewalks, while quiet battles bear. 2025's 6th Street triage links to healing, but scarcity leaves many adrift, strength a hushed plea. The needs assessment bears it. Disorders up 16% to 50% of 16,671 diagnosed, 85% single adults, intertwining 65% cases, families at 27%. Over 16,000 face behavioral tides, 16% mental solitude, half substance shadows. Mobiles boosted links 12%, yet weights deepen isolation. Economic strains locking seclusion. The ties run deep. What unseen bonds chain addiction to these forsaken lanes? If this touches your core, comment how to soften these grips. Subscribe to Homeless US News. Uncover the unspoken with us. How does addiction intertwine with homelessness in ways that make escape seem impossible? As we shift to the broader urban toll, consider the physical spaces bearing this weight. From my perspective, delving into these shadowed paths in Homeless US News reminds us that compassion isn't just aid, it's recognizing the humanity in every struggle, inspiring us to advocate for integrated support that lights the way forward. Root causes driving the issue. Housing costs in San Francisco crush lives without mercy. Over $5,500 monthly for an average California home, double the national rate, forcing even dedicated workers into freefall when a job slips away or family tensions erupt, flipping stability into shattering uncertainty. How does a city this wealthy let everyday folks teeter on such a razor-thin edge? Mental health crises and addiction pile on the pain, with unhoused adults drowning in substance use disorders and persistent struggles that slam doors on help, locking them in heartbreaking isolation that begs the question, what's keeping recovery just out of reach? Racial divides expose the ugliest truths. Black residents, only 5% of the population, staggeringly fill 37% of homelessness spots, burdened by lifelong barriers to education and jobs, a legacy of inequity that hits like a wake-up call to hidden injustices. These factors lock into a vicious grip, demanding we face them all to break free. The 2025 Homelessness Needs Assessment strips it raw. Job loss leads the pack of triggers, trailed by substance use, evictions, and family breakdowns, spiking homelessness 7% to 8,323 since 2022. Overrepresentation crushes marginalized groups, people of color, LGBTQ+ individuals, those with disabilities or justice histories, with Black folks at 33% unhoused singles and 40% families, Hispanic/Latina/E/O at 14% singles and 28% families, and far eclipsing city norms. LGBTQ+ stats jolt 12% bisexual/gay/lesbian among unhoused singles, 4% transgender/non-binary. Economic traps gape. 83% at-risk survive on extremely low incomes, up to $32,750 yearly for one, battling relentless rent surges. Health burdens escalate. 25% more serious mental illness reports, 16% substance use since 2022, hitting 16,671 unhoused, 50% with substance disorders, 34% co-occurring mental health, 16% mental alone. Unhoused singles carry 65% of this load, families 32%, chronic cases up 11%, vehicle living jumping 38%. Prevention buckles as inflows triple exits, blocked by immigration walls, missing paperwork, and unit droughts. What invisible weights are dragging these lives down so relentlessly? If these harsh realities stir something in you, share in the comments which cause shocks you the most. And if you're compelled by these honest revelations, subscribe to Homeless US News now. Let's uncover the full picture together. These elements weave a complex web, hard to untangle without addressing each strand. Moving ahead, we'll look at how the city responds, from strategies to real actions. Urban decay, the sidewalk crisis. San Francisco's sidewalks tell a brutal story of neglect. paths littered with discarded items, stained by waste, carrying a heavy stench that clings to the air, while people without homes sit slumped against walls, lie curled on cold concrete, or extend hands in quiet pleas for help, their eyes reflecting years of hardship. How does a world-class city let its streets sink into this raw mess? In a peril city near Bernal Heights, spanning just 0.5 square miles, groups of tents once clustered beyond 6, even as overall counts fell 25% to 165 by June 2025 from 220 in March. But these shifts only scatter the chaos, heightening the grim reality. Tenderloin's 50-packed square blocks see supportive housing strained by rundown conditions, where folks and helpers navigate the daily grind amid mounting difficulties. Shelters share the hurt. Belongings disappear in unguarded times. Upkeep falters in crowded spots for 200, leaving basic dignity hard to hold. The 2025 needs assessment spotlights the ache. Meals often cold and inadequate. Activities stalled since the health crisis, eroding chances to bond. These walkways, meant for simple passes, spark tension, with September 2025 logging 7,800 in need, over half uncovered, turning communal spots into signs of ignored struggles. From March 2025, 5 community teams aim to sweep and support. Yet the breakdown lingers, probing this hub's true essence. This where is undeniable. What keeps it thriving? If this moves you, leave a comment. What's fueling urban slips like this? And if these real exposures captivate, subscribe to Homeless US News. Now, let's share more truths together. Why do sidewalk crises persist despite efforts to clear them? Transitioning to policy shortcomings, let's examine how decisions at higher levels fall short. What do you see as the biggest contributor to urban decay in cities like San Francisco? In reflecting on this, I believe stories like these in Homeless US News teach us that revitalizing spaces starts with empathy. It's a reminder that investing in people restores not just sidewalks, but the soul of a community. Community and nonprofit contributions. In San Francisco's ongoing struggles, where layers of hardship often feel insurmountable, community organizations quietly step in as essential supports, delivering hands-on help that keeps the entire framework from faltering. It's remarkable how they fill the voids left by larger systems, isn't it? Look at Community Housing Partnership, managing more than 1,000 permanent units in 2025, integrating job training and social assistance through their purposeful housing model to guide thousands towards stability with secure living spaces, meaningful employment, and a restored sense of self. Conard House concentrates on individuals facing significant mental health obstacles, providing long-term housing and structured recovery programs for hundreds who struggle in traditional shelter environments, creating environments where progress can take root. Compass Family Services addresses family needs with emergency accommodations, transition strategies, and parental counseling, helping hundreds ensure their children continue education and develop in safe settings amid instability. Tipping Point. Community invests substantial funds into comprehensive programs aimed at reducing persistent homelessness, enhancing overall system performance. Initiatives from residents, such as the St. Francis Challenge, demonstrate how volunteers can offer direct, empathetic assistance, illustrating the potential for widespread involvement. These organizations operate on the principle that homelessness is a temporary condition that can be altered with appropriate intervention, yet they contend with constraints like insufficient funding and extended waiting lists, a challenging truth that prompts reflection on the broader support required. The 2025 assessment underscores their critical contributions. Through collaborations, they assisted 12,000 housed households encompassing 16,514 individuals, 85% adults seeking new beginnings, 15% families working to regroup, and 12% youth and young adults building futures. Permanent housing beds number 16,383 year-round, allocated as 11,141 for adults, 5,188 for families, 2,216 for chronic situations, and 847 for youth. They facilitate 7,567 stabilizations for those at immediate risk, Tier 1, and 12,718 for sustained vulnerabilities, Tier 2, achieving an 83% reach among extremely low-income groups. They address specific gaps, including safety for transgender individuals, limited dedicated facilities, and care for seniors, 51% of housed single adults aged 55 plus. Their outreach and harm reduction efforts repair overlooked fractures while advocating for metrics that extend beyond superficial indicators. What underlying resilience do these partnerships reveal? If this dedication strikes a chord, shall you share your thoughts in the comments? Which community initiative resonates with you the most? And if these genuine accounts draw you in, subscribe to Homeless US News for more compelling perspectives. What inspires you about community-driven efforts? As we consider ongoing challenges, it's clear solutions require unified approaches. What challenges do you think nonprofits face most in scaling their impact? From my view, these stories in Homeless US News highlight that collective action heals. It's a powerful lesson in how kindness and partnership can restore dignity. Policies that have failed to aid the poor. Beneath San Francisco's grand promises of transformation, with billions funneled into rescue efforts, a painful reality surfaces, policies that falter badly, abandoning the vulnerable to deepening hardship and despair. It's utterly disheartening. Homelessness rose 7% to 8,323 lives in distress by 2024, up from 7,754 in 2022, betraying a city rich in means but poor in delivery. The mismatch stings. For everyone escaping to stability, 3 enter the fray, as a crushing 3-to-1 ratio showing resources woefully outpaced by need. This is the silent suffering of countless caught in the grind. Shelters expose the flaws. 51% vanish from tracking post-stay, only 13% reaching permanent spots, hindered by bureaucratic snarls, immigration walls, and scarce family units that leave parents in anguished limbo. Affordable housing crumbles. Just 282 very low-income units in 2024 toward 20,867 by 2031, a meager 2.45% by mid-2025, as skyrocketing costs and eternal waits crush hopes. Prevention limps along, aiding 9,229 households by September, but missing the 18,000 mark. So while funding pivots, like shifting $88.5 million to temp shelters, favor patches over permanence. Disparities wound deeply. Black residents, 5% population, bear 25% unhoused load, lacking baselines for change, echoing entrenched inequities across generations. The system splinters with queues, rigid rules, income, backgrounds, underserving 16,000 with behavioral woes amid 4,440 beds meeting half the plea. HUD 2025 tweaks risk $100 million. Lawsuit payouts hit $2.8 million for lost items, a tangle sustaining cycles, devouring funds without relief. Why do these failures widen gaps? And ensnaring families in poverty's hold when fixes tantalize just beyond grasp? It's a stark reminder of policies failing those they vow to protect. If this policy breakdown tugs at you, comment below. As we look to stabilizers, nonprofits emerge as key players. What policy change do you think could most effectively support low-income families? Major challenges and proposed paths forward. San Francisco spends billions on homelessness, including $56.3 million for housing in 2025, but the problems stay stuck in place. People with emotional pain and health issues often avoid help because rules are too strict or shared rooms feel wrong. Some neighborhoods carry most of the load, causing anger, and separate data systems with repeated programs make everything slower, keeping people in the same hard situations over and over. How does a city this advanced let these issues go on, affecting so many lives? The 2025 Homelessness Needs Assessment shows the hard facts. A 3-to-1 ratio, where 3 people start facing homelessness for everyone who gets out, families up 82%, so young adults 18 to 29 up 11%, long-term cases up 11%, and health problems impacting 16,671 people. There are not enough big units for families, immigration rules block progress, and transgender people worry about safety in group areas. The report suggests ways to fix it. Add more health support with easier access. Match beds to what people need, like private spaces that help more. Improve shelters with better food, storage, and activities to connect people. Find the 51% who disappear after staying to close gaps. Increase prevention that helped 9,229 households by focusing on seniors, 22%, and those needing safety. Combine data to end separation and spread services evenly to reduce pressure on Tenderloin and Soma. Steps forward. Expand Housing First with continued counseling. Make every district share fairly. Focus on prevention like rent help and affordable homes, with California's rents up 40% since 2000. Use better data tracking, get community involved with donations and support. San Francisco has a chance to change, but it needs real effort now. If these facts hit you hard, tell me in the comments what problem stands out most to you. And if these stories matter, subscribe to Homeless US News. Let's keep sharing them. How can prevention strategies make the biggest difference? This leads us to wrap up, reflecting on the human element. What prevention measure do you believe would help families most? In thinking about this, I feel that embracing shared responsibility empowers us all. It's about seeing beyond problems to the people, fostering a society where no one is left behind. Reflections and hope ahead. In the radiant pulse of San Francisco, where towering innovations promise a world of endless horizons, a profound chasm opens wide, one that tugs at the heartstrings. This cradle of dreams entangled in one of America's most enduring homelessness crises, a subtle scar that whispers questions about who truly gets to share in the light. How does a place so full of breakthroughs allow such quiet shadows to persist? Strip away the figures, and the true jolt comes from the human essence. These are neighbors, once woven into the fabric of daily life with jobs, loved ones, ambitions, now unraveled by relentless pressures, health hurdles, or life's unforeseen detours. While each humble tent or fleeting figure, a poignant nudge that our shared supports sometimes bend under the weight, leaving hearts exposed in ways that call us all to pause. Yet, woven through the ache are threads of quiet triumph. City strides like Housing First opening doors to stability, expansions that offer refuge, the breaking the cycle spirit, and compassionate nonprofits stepping in with open arms, illustrating that with genuine care, paths to renewal unfold like dawn after a long night. The enigma that lingers? It's not in our reach, it's in our shared empathy. By embracing bold shifts, spreading kindness evenly, and seeing beyond challenges to the humanity within, we unlock brighter tomorrows.
It's sweets, it's sweets. Oh, did you get one already? No problem. I'll come back with water if you want water. Okay.
At its soul, San Francisco's story isn't told in gleaming spires, but in how we gather to uplift those in the margins, creating a tapestry where every thread matters, every life finds warmth. What spark of hope in these narratives resonates with you, reminding us of the good we can do? Let me know in the comments. Your stories of kindness could inspire a wave of change. And if these heartfelt glimpses touch you deeply, subscribe to Homeless Us News now. Together, let's spotlight paths to compassion and support for those without homes, fostering a world where no one walks alone. As we close this chapter in Homeless US News, remember, awareness sparks change.
You're welcome. Thank you guys so much. You're welcome. So we get one. Okay. So you don't want hot dog?
Yes. I want.
This one? Or can I add this one? Okay.
All right. Cheetos. And you got your chips, baby? You want to grab those? You ain't even get your food yet. There, food, chips.
What thoughts does this evoke for you?
Here you go.
Personally, sharing these realities in Homeless Us News reinforces that hope lies in unity. Every act of understanding contributes to a brighter, more inclusive tomorrow.
Everything else stand, okay?
And one more.
Chicken, one ham.
In the end, it's about rediscovering our shared humanity, a value that guides us toward better days for everyone.
Chips, baby. No worries, my dear. Enjoy, okay? All right, you can pick out any Lunchable. Ham and crackers. You want some cookies? All right. There you go. I'll get you some cookies. All right. No worries, my love. Grab your chips. No worries, my dear. You get what you need when you're We have some. Hold on, I have 2 piece hot dog, fully loaded. No worries, baby. You want chips or cookies? I meant some cookies. No cookies? Oatmeal? Okay. All right. I know, baby. Get out this line, baby. You guys. Thank you. I said I would bring you a big old bag.